my darling viewers, it's Jen here at Chuck Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Murder at an Irish Wedding by Carlene O'Connor. This is the second book in her Irish Village mystery series. The first book is Murder in an Irish Village, and these books both take place in Kilbane in Cork County, Ireland. So book 2 will spoil parts of book 1. So if you want to read them both, I suggest picking up Murder in an Irish Village first. Although you can totally go into book 2 without having read book 1 and not be lost. It's just if you read them in reversed order, pretty much you're going to know what happened in book 1, and it's not as surprising or fun. Okay, so in this book, we meet up with Siobhan Sullivan and her 5 siblings again, and the whole clan is just super excited for this celebrity wedding that's going to be happening at a nearby castle. The celebrity is Alice, and she is this really famous model, and she really wants this big Irish wedding using all these traditions, and Siobhan and her family got the deal to cater the actual wedding party. These guys are super excited for that, especially all the younger siblings who are all teenagers. They're like going crazy. The girls are like, oh my gosh, it's a celebrity. And the guys are like, hey, that model, she's pretty cute. Siobhan's boyfriend, Macdarra, is part of the wedding party, and Siobhan is trying desperately to get an invite to the wedding, but Macdarra is taking his mom instead, which is kind of sweet, except the mom, not necessarily the most welcoming woman ever, as Siobhan gets ready to meet her boyfriend's mother. So Macdarra becomes the best man in the wedding after the previous best man, Kevin, makes a complete and total ass out of himself on basically the bachelor night, as he gets completely drunk and really just kind of pisses off everybody. And the next morning, when Kevin is found dead with his skull being bludgeoned open with a rock, the entire wedding party, including Macdarra, becomes suspects, and Siobhan tries to clear Macdarra's name by solving the murder. There's also a string of robberies happening in Kilbane, and the wedding party are convinced that they are connected. The wedding party as a whole are really kind of terrible people, and I'm not really liking any of them, really. There's a lot of sleeping around and fighting, stabbing each other in the back, proverbially speaking. So really kind of feeling like it could have been any of them, and not really shocked and surprised when we find out who the murderer is. So unlike the first book, where when we find out who the murderer is, it's a shock because everybody in that village is amazing and didn't want any of them to have done it. In this one, you're like, yeah, it really could have been any of them, honestly. Don't feel sorry for them. Macdarra kind of acts out of character in this book. He encourages Siobhan to solve the mystery. He's like, hey, I can't be investigating this because I am one of the suspects, but if you could clear my name, that would be super helpful. And he tries to help her solve the mystery, which seems so weird because in the first book, he's just like, no, Siobhan, don't do anything. Don't get involved. This is really dangerous. Sometimes in this book, he does get really concerned for her and like, oh my gosh, this is dangerous. Stop doing it. But the fact that he even tells her to investigate in the first place seems really strange and not like him. Also, the chief of police, or the Garda, in this book does kind of the same thing, where he's like, Siobhan, you're not a police officer. Please stop investigating. But then he's also taking in her evidence and considering it, and basically encouraging her to keep going while saying, stop doing that. It's so weird. Siobhan really just needs to become a member of the Garda, honestly, because this middle ground where she's investigating and she's not allowed to is really awkward and super dangerous. And then the entire relationship between Macdarra and Siobhan in this feels strange. Like in the first book, they definitely have this connect between the two of them, and I'm totally like shipping them, and I still want them to be together in this book, but they don't seem to be quite as into each other. There are some moments in this book where Siobhan sees Macdarra and she's like, heck yeah, that gorgeous guy's my boyfriend. But it's a very clean romance, and they only kiss a few times through this book, and there is really no chemistry between them anymore, and it feels strange. And I don't know if that's a shift in their relationship where, like, I don't know if this is a part of their relationship, like they're falling out of love with each other, or they've gotten this plateau in their relationship where they're so used to each other. It's not really what I wanted for them, basically. I love the two of them together, and I want them to be madly in love with each other, basically. And I didn't really feel that in this book. So basically, I thought book one was better. I loved book one. That one's amazing. This book's still pretty good. I honestly still gave it 4 stars out of 5. And I am totally, totally psyched for the third book now. Like, can I please have it right now? Yeah, so Murder at an Irish Wedding by Carlene O'Connor is a totally fun, cute, clean murder mystery. Although the details about who's sleeping with who maybe not so clean, honestly. But Siobhan and Macdarra's relationship is clean, and there's not a whole lot of graphic descriptions in it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, guys, there's my review for Murder at an Irish Wedding by Carlene O'Connor. Check it out if you want to. Totally check out book one, Murder at an Irish Wedding. I'll post the review for Murder at an Irish Wedding down in the description below, so you guys can check that out. Okay, peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.